faculty, with students, with staff. You do all sorts of things. And you have a real sense of what's going on at the institution. So lots of fun here. Obviously it takes a while to kind of figure out who's who and how things work. I think it's been some help to me that I spent 25 years at a very similar institution, because one of the things I think that you learn from experience is you start to see, oh, I understand what's going on here. This is just like an experience I had back there. Or this person, oh, reminds me of somebody else, so I have a kind of sense of what's going on. And that's been of some help, but there's still, you know, an awful lot to learn. And that's exciting too, sort of meeting new people and learning more about the institution and the town and the way things are done.
So you do feel you have adjusted to life in Sault Ste. Marie, right?
Well, life in Sault Ste. Marie is another question. The life at the university is a different thing. The life in Sault Ste. Marie, people often ask me, so how do you like Sault Ste. Marie? And usually what I say to them is, well, to tell you the truth, between all the time I spend at the university and then the challenges of raising a baby at home and you know, having to get a house in order and all that kind of thing, we don't really spend much time in Sault Ste. Marie. For us, a big night on the town is, you know, we go up to Home Depot and you know, buy lamps for the house or something like that. So it's probably going to take a little more time, maybe another summer, before we really feel that we're living in this community, in the city of Sault Ste. Marie. But I feel very home at the university.
That's good. So what surprised you when you came to Sault Ste. Marie about Algoma and the city itself?
What was most surprising at Algoma? Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure that anything really shocked me. And again, that's because 25 years at a very similar kind of institution, it all, you know, much of it seemed very familiar to me, and for the most part it was a question of comparing things with what I had already seen. I suppose in some ways what surprises me is how much we do as such a small place, and that's a very good thing.
So, as president of Algoma University, what are your aspirations for the school?
Nice question. I would like to see us become a school. Our current strength is that we're focused very clearly on providing a great education for students doing an undergraduate degree. And that's interesting because most universities in this province are not. They do all sorts of things, master's programs, PhD programs, professional schools. And in my experience, at a place that's doing all of those things, the students who are doing their first degree, the younger people who are doing a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Business Administration, I don't think they're served very well by the big institutions where a lot more attention is paid to graduate schools and professional schools. So we have a real strength in that we're focused on students like you. That's all we do, so we're good at it. We try to improve at that. We offer a very humane sort of environment where people are friendly, they know who you are, the classes are small, and that is terrific. I think students here are getting a better education than they get anywhere in the province just because of that. The challenge for us is that we need to have more students than we do to make our academic programs viable, which is to say we need to have more students coming here from outside of this particular region. And it's a challenge because generally students like to stay close to home. So for me, what we really need to do here is to build on our strength as an undergraduate university. But in addition to that, we have to develop something that is very distinctive about us, that's going to be sufficiently attractive that will be a magnet to draw students here from other parts of the province, other parts of the country, and other parts of the world. So if you ask me to say in you know, a sentence, so you know, what do you really aspire to for this institution? I would like us to have a much more national and international
So you
student.
become involved in Algoma U, because I know you're involved in so many things around here.
Well, the president gets involved in almost everything in a small university, and that's the way it should be. I wish I had twice as much time during the day as I do, because there are many things I'd like to do that I don't have time for, or haven't found time for yet. One thing that I did reserve some time for was to teach a course. And I don't think I could say that I'm the only president, the only university president who teaches a course every year, but there sure wouldn't be many. That was very important to me, because I think if we understand ourselves to be an institution that is uniquely focused on doing a good job of teaching undergraduate students, then the person who's, the president should set a good example. So that's one of the things that I've made time for. I'd actually like the rest of my senior administrators who have academic qualifications to do the same thing. We'll try to move that along as we go forward. Certainly I'd like to be more involved in some of the student things. Whenever I can, I of course go to the dinners and things like that, which are terrific fun, and generally the best food that I've had since I've been in Sault Ste. Marie. I like to go to the basketball games, the varsity sports, and I think we should probably expand what we're doing in terms of varsity athletics. Not infinitely. I don't think we're big enough to have, sports teams in 10 different areas, but a little more than what we're doing would be nice. And of course, as much as I can, I like to go over to the gym and play a little basketball myself.
Yeah. And I know that you're also part of the choir.
Well, that's a good illustration, because of course, back at my previous university, I actually started the university choir, just because I thought we needed to have one, and I was happy to sing in it when I had more time. And I thought I would do the same thing here, and then I found out, well, they rehearse Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 o'clock. And I thought, wow, I thought they'd be rehearsing at 5 in the afternoon or something, at the end of the day when I could get away. Tuesday and Thursday at 10 o'clock, I usually have dozens of requests for meetings and so on. So I thought, well, I'll go to the choir rehearsals as much as I can. And it got to the point where I'd missed so many, I had to cut myself because it would have been too embarrassing. But in the future, I hope to work on that, so I will have an opportunity to participate in that. Because that, again, is one of the beauties of a small university like this. I think that there are opportunities to be involved in things. And it's another area where I think, you should lead by example. And the best way to do that is to go out and be part of things yourself.
Yeah. So for my last question, what advice do you have for students like us of Algoma U?
Well, I guess maybe I would pick up on the last point, and that is, it's very important to become involved in things outside of what you do in the classroom. For a lot of reasons. I think it will make your experience at the university more enjoyable. I think it will make it more rewarding. And even in terms of, where you go once you graduate and what you do and job prospects and so on. Lots of people have degrees. Those who succeed, I think, are those who have distinguished themselves. They have a degree and, they've had the experience of going on a foreign exchange for a year. And maybe they've been part of a choir or some particular club. Maybe they helped get the student newspaper off the ground, which would be a great thing. I'm delighted to see that you're finally doing that. You asked me, what was your big surprise when you came here? Maybe what I should have said is, there's no newspaper. Never seen a university without a student newspaper. And I think that's a real shortcoming, because I think we all count on a good student newspaper. On the one hand, to inform people, not just students, but everybody, about things that are happening at the university, and also to give them an opportunity to write letters in, asking questions or criticizing, because often you learn about problems and can help improve things in response to what you read in the student newspaper. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. I'm excited myself for this newspaper, and hope when it comes out it helps students in a variety of ways in terms of entertainment and advice, and also just something to encourage people to contribute to the newspaper.
Yeah.
I would like to thank you for this interview, and we wish you all the best in the performance of your duty as president of Algoma University.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to help out. Yeah.
Thanks.